Team, welcome back for another episode. My name is Command Sergeant Major Retired Mark Garrett, and today is part 2 in a series of leadership and social media. In part 1, we spoke about the definitions of informal leaders, formal leaders, influence, and how to approach informal leaders. In this part, we're going to discuss informal leaders and social media. I'm really interested in your professional comments about this subject. Please reach out and share your thoughts. So let's talk about informal leaders and social media. I'm sure this is why you tuned in anyway, is to see how a crusty old Sergeant Major would handle an issue like this. First and foremost, I'm absolutely respect the soldiers' right to express themselves. And like it or not, social media is one of those outlets that soldiers have in today's age. I'm a bit old school, but I also realize times have changed as well as the way we communicate. Whatever process you as a leader choose to develop or apply needs to be consistent and run by JAG before you give an order or demands that you cannot enforce. My father was a retired first sergeant promoter, and he gave me a piece of advice: never give an order you can't enforce. Think about that. Let that sink in for a minute. Do not give an order you cannot enforce. Okay, so if you get a chance, stop by mentormilitary.com. They have everything you need for leader development, from counseling, evaluations, awards, leadership tools, promotions, you name it. They are your one-stop shop for professional military development. Now, with regard to social media, I don't believe leaders, formal or informal, should conduct their posts in uniform. Is it legal? I don't know. Check with JAG. I just don't believe they should use their influence by doing it in uniform. Also, it shouldn't be used as a way to circumvent the chain of command either. With that said, giving these leaders an order you cannot legally enforce will only solidify their position. For all you know, this individual might have sought to solve the problem as best as they could at the lowest level possible and moved it up through the chain of command, and social media is their last way of asking and potentially begging for help and assistance because they don't know what else to do. So what can you really do? Again, it's the carrot or stick approach. Find out the root cause of why they found it necessary to make a post. Identifying the root cause will go a long way in solving this issue and most likely prevent future issues. Then consider asking the informal leader for their help by using their influence in a positive way. But as a formal leader, you need to be doing things the right way to get the informal leader's assistance. Some formal leaders may significantly disagree with this approach and simply use their authority to resolve the issue. That is a technique, and in my opinion, should be the last resort. Until you solve the root cause, you will continue to have the issues. If you are getting value from this post, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. It goes a long way in helping me grow this channel and encourages me to continue to put out content. Also, please stop by mentormilitary.com. They've got everything you need for your military career, from evaluations, counselings, promotions, tactics, techniques, and procedures. They can help you and your soldiers grow as professionals. Now, when the informal leader makes a post, you can bet your bottom that senior leadership throughout the Army are paying attention, and if you are responsible for the issue or failing to address the issue as the formal leader, you might be the one that gets something of unwanted attention. Don't be afraid of informal leaders' influence. Solve the problem and gain their trust. Use their influence to better the team. You might be surprised at the results. Now, how about informal leaders that are consistently on social media and doing their best to reach soldiers and share lessons learned? How do you feel about them? I know a master sergeant that was selected to be a first sergeant. Everything was cool until the chain of command found out he had a leadership lessons learned social media site. Next thing you know, senior leadership outside the battalion said, nope, we aren't going to have anybody in a first sergeant position that has a social media presence. Wow, really? In my opinion, this is a perfect example of senior leadership being afraid of a formal leader that has significant influence. They could have called the master sergeant in and used the methods we've discussed earlier or some other approach. but they chose the easy way out. What happened? It went viral on social media. The formal chain of command was furious, but you know what? It was not the Master Sergeant that put it on social media. It was someone else. And the Master Sergeant does not control other people's social posts. The chain of command, in my opinion, caused the issue by not being willing to communicate. They immediately saw social media, the aspect of social media as a liability instead of a force multiplier. Had they chosen to speak with the Master Sergeant, they may have found another decision. Instead, they got the exact problem they were trying to prevent. In other words, it blew up on social media. The crazy part is all the information the Master Sergeant puts out is informative, positive, and professional. The Master Sergeant shares lessons learned that motivates other people outside his direct sphere of influence, develops leaders in a way that transforms soldiers into leaders. But because the chain of command had an inability to have an open mind and communicate their concerns to the Master Sergeant, he will never have the chance to be a first sergeant. Knowing this Master Sergeant, personally, I believe senior leaders were afraid and did not have an open mind and failed to adapt to the world we live in today. He would have been an awesome first sergeant. He did not let it get him down. He continues to be an absolute professional today by helping soldiers and speaking truth to power. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, stay safe and stay healthy.